Hello YouTube, this is MrOllzinator. Got a tutorial for you today on how to use abstract renders correctly, and I'm going to jump straight into it, showing you kind of what you shouldn't, or what in my opinion, what you shouldn't really be doing with these abstract renders. So I see some people just putting them in the background and kind of lower the opacity, and I assume they do it to kind of make the background a bit more interesting, but I think there's plenty of other ways you can be kind of going about doing that. So instead of doing that, let's paste this render in here, and we want to be looking for different areas we can work with, and there's lots of kind of these triangular bits in this one, so they could really add to the flow going in this direction, if you can see my mouse there. So I'm going to start kind of playing about with this. I'm going to flip it first actually, and then I'm going to start playing about with it and rotating it different ways, just to kind of see where it can fit. I'm obviously not going to keep all of it there. I'm going to erase some parts. I think that looks pretty good about there. So let's enter that, and then we're just going to get the polygonal lasso tool up here, and we're just going to start by just selecting some of the areas. Let's make a backup first actually. And we're going to select some of the areas which we don't really want. So these bits on the right, not really feeling those, so let's get rid of them. Just go around them and pressing delete or backspace, and then these bits up here kind of ruin it a bit. I'm going to get rid of those, and maybe that bit as well. So that is looking pretty good so far. Just had an idea actually. I could alter the colors and stuff slightly. So this is something you can do if you want to use it in this way, kind of thing, to kind of extend the person or the picture. So I'm going to pick two colors, the green from his hoodie and the blue for his jeans. Apply gradient map of that, and then apply clipping mask to the layer below so that it's just on the render. And then I could set this to color or hue, or maybe hue and lower the opacity. Or just leave it as it is actually. Yeah, forget that. So I'm going to have that there, and then I could play about with different blending options, but I think I want to keep it kind of very bold. So I'm going to keep 100% and then just go around with the eraser tool and erase some areas like so. And that is looking pretty alright. I'm just gonna, these purple bits are kind of annoying me, so I'm going to select them and lower the opacity a bit. Going around these kind of spiky bits, that makes it look pretty cool, kind of prototype-ish. Like so. Then I'm going to cut it and paste it, and then move it back to where it was, and then I'm going to lower the opacity to about 70-ish, zoom out, and that looks pretty nice. So that's the first render I have done. If you saw at the beginning, it was kind of a, have I got a backup of it? Well, you can kind of see it there. It's not one that fills the whole canvas. Those are another types of renders. I don't really use them much, unless they're, I'll go on to one of those ones I use a bit later, but it's kind of all in the middle. It's very kind of intricate and detailed, and if you just look for the areas which you can fit into the image, then it can look pretty cool. So for the second render, I'm going to use this one. Now you may come across a lot of these renders where it's kind of got a black background, it's got some cool kind of light effects or some particle type things. These are really useful because they're quite easy to use as well. So you're just going to paste it in there, and then I'm going to resize it just so I can see the good bits. And then all you basically have to do is set this to one of the 4 options here, which will get rid of the dark areas. Any of them is fine, just experiment with different ones. So first just choose lighten. As you can see, gets rid of nearly all of the black. Screen gets rid of a bit less of the dark colours. Colour dodge gives a pretty cool effect. I think I may go for linear dodge add. And then you're just going to, as before, look for the kind of areas which could fit into the image. In this case, there's some cool bits coming off to the left, like so. So I may just want to put it in about there, press enter, and then go in with the eraser tool. And any edges, kind of hard edges, you just want to blend in by erasing them. I always have the eraser set to 30% because that's good kind of compromise between control, and you don't have to be here too long clicking it all day. Just going to erase the edges, erase up here. These kind of less prominent parts I want to erase more than the other parts. And that is looking pretty good. Could lower the opacity. I'm going to lower it to about 80%. And that is already looking like a pretty decent design. Obviously you can spend a lot more time and do a lot more to it. So that render I used was one of the ones on the black background. Just set it to one of the 4 or 5 ones like lighten, screen color dodge, linear dodge, whatever. And then just look for areas which look good. They can be really useful to add light and stuff to your image. And last but not least is probably one of my favorite renders. I use it quite a lot. And so I'm going to paste it in there. As you can see, it's another one on the black background, but instead of kind of light bits, it's kind of particle-y type things. So I'm going to set this to maybe linear dodge add. Actually, I haven't actually used that much before, but I might this time. And then just rotate it to find areas you like. And kind of thing, I'm going to kind of extend this, maybe rotate it around the other way. Gonna have some stuff coming up there, and then just pick up the good old razor tool and erase these bits on the right, erase the edges so it kind of blends in, and then you could just lower the opacity, not too much though. One of the main tips I want to kind of try and get across is just to be a bit more kind of confident in your designing with these renders, because like you can gingerly add them at really low opacities and add like 20, but it's just going to waste your time basically. So it's much better to go in like this. Or I've only used 3 renders here, and is it 3 or is it 4? No, it's 3. And as you can see, that's pretty much all I need to use. I could go in there now and do some different brushes or some smudging or some blurring or something, but for the abstract renders bit, that is pretty much done. So to show, kind of better show this off, just going to add a gradient map. I think I might use some of my colors, which are dark blue and light yellow. See how that looks. Maybe set it to soft light. Maybe just want to duplicate that. And something like that. So if you didn't see that, I just made a gradient map, dark to light color, set it to soft light, then made another one, set it to normal, just duplicated that one, set it to normal, and lowered it to 30%. That just gives it kind of a optional. Maybe I want to turn it down to 20 actually. But I think it's something a bit different, kind of using some different colors and stuff. So that has been my how to use abstract renders. I hope you like this outcome. I think that's pretty cool. And so hopefully this has helped you. If you don't have any abstract renders, then be sure to go download them. I may remember to put them in the description below, but if I don't, then You can go check out the original video, which I put up 100 subs, or you can look at the 1000 subs video I did the other day, and the link is in the description there. So as I said, hope this is helpful to you, and I will see you next time.